Was a wrong-way driver who slammed head-on into another vehicle, sent several people to the hospital.
Around 2 this morning, an officer spotted that car going the wrong way on 1604. Then a few seconds later, that car crashed into another vehicle near Braun Road. 3 people inside the other car had to be pulled out. The driver of both cars were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The passengers were also hurt but are expected to be okay. No word yet if the wrong-way driver will face any charges.
And if